I cut a giant hole in my floor, guys. Yeah, that's right. I'm sick and tired of trying to get this transmission in and out of here with very little room. So I'm gonna do what I've been putting off and I didn't want to do from the very beginning. Otherwise I would have just done this when I first built the truck, but I'm not a fan of sheet metal work. So I'm cutting the tunnel out, gonna raise it up, make more room so that this transmission goes in and out a lot easier. As you can see, I've already taken the shifter out and cut the hole and everything, but I gotta move. I've got this wire panel right here with all of my electrical, all my relays and everything. Looks like I'm gonna have to move it over a little bit. So hopefully that's not too much of a mess. But yeah, right here is my electrical panel. I've already got my fuse block was mounted here. Got it up here out of the way, my ignition box and everything, but this main panel right here, I'm gonna have to move. Hopefully I can just move it over a little bit because I think I'm gonna have to cut into here. So I'm gonna get that all moved over. I'm just cutting minimal amounts at a time to try and kind of figure out where I want it. I'm not taking a whole bunch off all at once because you'll usually end up taking off more than you really need to, and then you have to put more back in. So I'm trying to make this as easy as possible by it takes a little bit longer to do it this way because you're cutting instead of just one cut, but I'd rather take my time and cut the least amount as possible so that I'm not having to put as much, or I'm not having to put more back in later, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like I said, I'm just cutting little bits at a time so that I can kind of tailor fit this hole to where I want it. That way my patch piece is super easy and not giant and super complicated. But I gotta get this electrical panel out. I never really showed you guys this. I kind of made this before I was doing a whole lot of videos on YouTube about the S10, but this is the relay board that I built, and I'm pretty proud of it. It looks pretty good, I think. It's fun to make this kind of stuff. Like, I like doing wiring when it's really nice and organized like this. Wiring a whole truck, not really my favorite, but doing little stuff like this, trying to make it look nice and neat, I like to do. Yeah, this is just the relay board that controls all my various things like fuel pump, fans, all that kind of stuff. And these little these little bus bars or whatever you want to call them make it super easy, because if I need to change something or disconnect it, or I remove a component or switch it out to something else, all I gotta do is loosen this, undo the wire, put the new one in. So makes it super easy, looks clean, and I like it. Alright, I got a good portion of it cut out. You can see here, this is where I was having all my problems. You can see how close the sheet metal is to that ear, and it was such a pain in the ass to get this transmission out. You can see, it was pinned up against it. And this is the bell housing for a small block Chevy, because it doesn't have the upper bolt hole right there. They do make one of these for an LS, so if I end up buying a new bell housing, I'll probably get the LS one, but this is the old cracked one that I'm just using for mock-up to make sure I have plenty of room to get this thing out, so I don't do all this work and then still can't get it out. So just chipping away at it, getting a little bit cut out at a time, and then once I get it to where I like it and I have plenty of room to get the bell housing in and out without fighting it, I'll square everything up and start forming some sheet metal. It's probably all that I'm gonna do for tonight, being that it's Sunday and I still got laundry to do and all that kind of stuff for work tomorrow morning. But I'll come back to this sometime next night or so, and we'll get some more work done. All right, so it's been multiple days since I was out here, and a little bit of update. Finally got a new bell housing. So I returned that one back to Summit, purchased this one. This one's from company ATI. Let's see if I can find the part number. There's the part number, and that's the part number for an OEM Turbo 400 or Turbo 350 case that isn't machined. They sell a second one that says for modified OEM case. Just so you guys know, the modified OEM case has to have the bell housing perfectly machined off because it has a locating tab that lines it up. So this one is just for kind of an OEM case that you can cut the bell housing off yourself. It's not as critical of an alignment, but you'll notice that this bell housing has all the bolt holes for small block Chevy and LS, and it doesn't have those giant ears for like Buick and Olds. So like this old one has the ears, those bolt holes up there are for like Buick, Olds, and Pontiac, which we don't need those, and they were actually kind of causing most of my problem anyways. So now with this bell housing, I should have plenty of room to get up in there, and it is SFI certified, so I think we're good to go after this plane finishes flying over. Also, I've cut out a little bit more. I got it kind of cleaned up, squared off, so I can start putting something back in. I'm gonna work on getting that bell housing put on and getting the transmission put back up in place here so I can get all my clearances and everything that I need. Start making a new tunnel. I kind of got a plan. I'm gonna try and make like a trans tunnel center console, kind of all in one. I just went over and picked up a bunch of material from the steel, from IMS. Industrial Metal Supply, and picked up all this square tubing. I got some 3/4 inch, some 1 inch, some flat bar. It was all remnant stuff, got it super cheap. So some mounting tabs. I just like these mounting tabs. I just got a whole bunch because, you know, you can use them for all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I just got a bunch of random tabs. Like that's probably, I think that's like $8, maybe $10 in tabs right there. All this stuff cost me like under 40 bucks for all this steel. So I'm gonna build some sort of structure. It's kind of hard to see from over here, but I'm gonna try and build like some sort of structure to make, like I said, a tunnel and a console so that my shifter's moved up a little bit more. I'll have kind of a center console area where I could put, you know, cup holders, because street truck. It's not really a street truck, but trying to be a street truck. So yeah, I'm gonna make a console type thing all in one, so it will come in between. I do plan on getting another seat here soon, so it will just go between the seats and back here and kind of stop and give me a place for cup holders, armrest, you know, got to be comfy, or switches and stuff like that. So that's the plan, and gonna get to work. All right, got the transmission back in, and let me tell you, this was so much easier getting this in this time. I know the floor is completely cut out, but still, that bell housing, without those Buick, Olds, Pontiac ears off the top, made it so much easier to get in and out. So as you can tell, kind of been playing around, mocking up, trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I've spent the last few hours trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, which way I'm going to go. And I don't know, it's going to take me some time to figure out how exactly I want to do this. So I'll probably play with this for a little while and come up with a solution or a way of doing it the way that I want to. I want to keep the front, like all of this I might do like a permanent, you know, riveted on, welded on or whatever. But I want to be able to remove the front panels up here around the bell housing just to make getting to those bell housing bolts that much easier. It'd be kind of nice to be able to just remove those panels and unbolt it from inside the truck. So I'm just kind of playing around, trying to figure out how I want to do it. But it's probably going to take some time. I'm probably going to get this video finished up here and get it up for you guys so you have something to watch, and then in the next video or two we'll get back on this and try and figure out a way to do it. But yeah, I think that's all for now. So thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said, we'll be back with another video here soon, actually constructing the trans tunnel, but I'm going to spend the next few hours tonight trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with it. But all right guys, we'll catch you on the next one.